For MSO Web Radio, I'm Tim Kearns. With me here at Frazier Field is the North Shore Navigator outfielder, Dario Pizzano from Saugus via Malden Catholic and Columbia University. Dario, welcome to the MSO website.
Hank, it's great to be here. I love doing these kind of interviews.
You know, I had the opportunity the other night after the championship game, which the Navigators won 5-4.
Right.
In a 9-inning thriller to several of your teammates, and definitely wanted to come back and have a chance to give you your few minutes here.
Okay.
Congratulations on a great season at Columbia. Freshman year was awesome.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You know, among your stats, you were named Co-Ivy Rookie of the Year. You were named a National Player of the Week, the Ivy League Player of the Week several times. That's a tremendous accomplishment for a freshman.
Thanks a lot. I really, I was coming in there not knowing what to expect. You know, it's Columbia Division I. I know how to work really hard to prove myself to Coach Beretti, and I just went with it, kept swinging it, pretty successful, and I worked my way into the lineup from the beginning of the year.
Now, certainly you came off a tremendous junior and senior year at Malden Catholic. You were a conference player of the year. Your senior year, you were a conference all-star. You led the league in hitting for 2 seasons. So you went to Columbia with credentials. You weren't overwhelmed talent-wise.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, the Catholic Conference is always one of the best leagues in the state, and I knew I was playing the top competition with wood bats too, so I knew I'd be ready at the Division I level. And I had a great coach, Steve Frecker. He always prepares everyone he coaches, and he has good players always coming out of Malden Catholic. And playing in the Catholic Conference, I feel I was ready to play at any level.
Now, at Columbia, you didn't use wooden bats, though.
No, that was a treat. Using metal.
Now, but coming in here from the Catholic League, you used the wood. You went to metal, but you came back to wood to play in the NECBL, and so that wasn't much of an adjustment for you.
Well, it's always kind of an adjustment. You know, going back to wood, it's different playing 50 games with metal, and you can, you know, cap some balls, get some hits, but wood, you got to square everything up, and they got to fall in all the gaps because it'll be a broken bat rollover if not. But it was definitely getting used to the wood bats again.
I've asked the other guys that I talked to the other night, how was it playing the very congested schedule of the NECBL?
Oh, that was a grind. You know, I love baseball. I always said I could play 24/7, but I really got a taste of what that was like this summer, playing 50-something games in 2 months. So it was a grind, but we fought it out, and obviously we were successful, and we gelled as a team. So that was good. You
know, you're playing on a college D1 team. You're meeting guys from all around the country. You come here, it's the exact same thing, but it's a new set of faces you have to gel with.
Yeah, I love doing that. I like always, you know, knowing the top guys from around the area and all the teams. And I like coming here and meeting kids from around the country playing in these big leagues such as, like, you know, SEC, ACC. We have guys from Florida. Denton was on our team, and Clemson and BC. So I really like being at that higher level. I felt like, you know, I earned my spot here, and like to meet these guys and have a good chemistry with them. And we gelled, and we all became friends, and we were all on that same level. And obviously we were successful this season.
Yeah, it was, and then that championship game, for final game, the fans certainly got their money's worth, and it was a great crowd. It stayed right till the end, and for the teams, it kept you on the edge of the dugout step most of the night, didn't it?
Oh, definitely. We're always on the edge of the steps. It seems like all of our games were close, except a very few, but we had a lot of walk-off wins and last at-bat wins in the top of the 9th away, so we were an exciting team this summer.
You know, one other thing, and I think this is going to work well for next year's fan base. I think it should expand to something the team can definitely use to market the 11 season.
Definitely. I mean, coming off of a championship, we're definitely known. We have a good fan base anyway, but definitely coming off of the NECBL championship, premier league in the country for some leagues, and you know, City of Lynn was great all year to us. There's a lot of fans and loyal people that come to the games, but definitely going to expand, saying champions, trying to repeat as champions. There'll be a lot more fans here.
Now, do you expect to be asked back for next year?
Pete Delani actually already extended that invitation to anyone who wasn't going to be a senior next year. So I have a spot on the team, and I'd love to play next year if I don't get to a league such as the Cape or Alaska. But either of those, I'll be back here if I don't get to those.
You know, certainly the opportunity to play at a league of this particular level has to be a thrill, especially with playing for the local team, playing for the Navigators. A lot of teams are made up of guys solely from outside the area, but this year's team, coached by a Lynn guy, you had Hunter Gordon from Swampscott, you had Brian Gauthier from Lynn, yourself from Linfield. That had to make playing that kind of a very intense schedule a little bit easier for you because you get to go home.
Yeah, definitely. I was real happy. I waited out. I didn't actually have a team until the last week of my Columbia season, and Pete talked to Coach Frecker, who was my high school coach, and they were friends, and he knew the season that I had, and I was trying to hold out for kind of a local team after my freshman year to be home, and it worked out perfectly because I always played on Fraser Field in these kind of showcases and home games and all that stuff. So I got to live at home, and I was talking to some of the guys. They had fun out here, but they said how much harder it was to live in a host family and stuff. So I was lucky enough to be able to be with my family and my close friends around here too. So I thought that was really helpful.
Now, going into your sophomore year at Columbia, following the outstanding year you had as a freshman, making the team, making the starting lineup, and then to have the produce as you did, do you feel any kind of pressure heading back for your sophomore season?
I think that's actually relieved some pressure because I always go into these seasons, even I started off a little slow here, adjusting to the wood bats, adjusting to this kind of pitching, but I felt like I needed to prove something. So I went in there as a freshman last year a little nervous, but now I felt like I proved myself, so I'm already looked at to be a big guy, and I like feeling that a little pressure, so feeling I got to be the guy to step up, and I go in there and I'm looking forward to that.
Was there any kind of an advantage? I didn't ask it to the other guys the other night, the other locals, but is there any kind of an advantage of having your head coach be from the area that you grew up in? We know Coach Moretti is from Beverly.
Right. He makes some jokes about the mass holes around here. So Banos and I, and we have another guy on our team that played in this league, Harrison Slusky. He was on the North Adams team, but he's from Canton. So we get, I don't really know if it's any advantage, but we can make some jokes, and all the guys get on us about it sometimes. So that's funny.
Good. All right. I know you're involved in this game here at Fraser Field, so I don't want to take up too much more time. Okay. Listen, Dan, I want to congratulate you on a great season.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks for taking time out to talk to us.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
That's been Dario Pizzano from Saugus and Columbia University, and the North Shore Navigators, the champions of the New England College baseball.